Okay, so let's go into your reading here. First of all, in the foundation, we have here the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is really tremendous passion, chemistry, and kind of like a hopeful future that we have laid out for ourselves. Usually this can also indicate some type of a new project that we are taking forward with, some type of a new endeavor, relationship, spark of attraction that we have towards another person. At the heart of the reading, we have the Tower here, and the Tower indicates some type of a very, very quick, swift, unexpected movement and change, okay? It doesn't always have to be bad, but when I pulled out the cards to clarify, we have here the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is a situation where we feel like we're on the defense. We feel like we can't really change the situation. Too much has been done, too much has been said, and this guy, he's battle weary. He's no longer wanting to fight. He's no longer wanting to invest situations into this. For some of you, this can be an injury, a fall, so be very, very careful about where you're going and you know, how fast, especially for those of you who drive a lot. Be very, very careful about, you know, just taking extra care when you do things so that you don't end up hurting yourself. Okay. I also have as well the Ten of Cups in the reverse. This is family. So I feel like some news, some inflammatory news coming through from a family member. And with the Nine of Wands, I feel like this is a cycle. Things have been like this over and over and over again. When are they going to learn? When are they going to change their course of action? And when are they going to turn their life around? So I feel like it's somebody that is very near and dear to you. And I feel that they've already made these mistakes before, and you think they would be wiser and gain the insights from the last time that it happened, but for whatever reason, they're not really absorbing the lessons. In the challenge position, we have here the Nine of Cups. I feel like there might be some issues here with drinking, somebody around you, you're dealing with it, a partner or somebody in your family unit. And I feel like it's creating a lot of disharmony in the family unit as a result of it. In the past position, we have here the Five of Wands. This is sort of like, when it's upright, it's conflict. When it's in the reverse position, it's sort of like the elephant in the room. No one wants to talk about it because they don't want to engage in conflict. When they bring it up, that whatever topic it is, the other person leaves the room, or the other person is conflict avoidant, and the other person doesn't really want to face up to the truth. So I feel like there needs to be some type of intervention that happens, but everyone is skirting the issue. So it's like that elephant in the room. Nobody wants to discuss. Nobody wants to bring up because it's contentious. For some of you, there might have been an end to a conflict with a family member or a specific person that you're dealing with. And I feel as if they're trying to make a comeback. I feel as if they're trying to make amends, but rather than saying, you know, I'm sorry for everything, I feel almost like they come rushing in. They come rushing in. Here I am. And it's like expecting that their presence to be enough, expecting to kind of like not have to address the underlying issue, the initial conflict or the initial situation. Okay. Crowning this reading is what you're thinking about. We have here the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups, once again, I'm getting a very, very strong, alcohol abuse and things like that with this card. Okay. Alcohol abuse, substance abuse. And somebody is like behaving in a reckless and irresponsible manner, but not owning up to their actions. So crowning this reading with the Four of Cups, this is pretty much about boredom, trying to fill up the time, trying to fill up the void, distracting ourselves with other things. And it's also a card about somebody being very, very stubborn. They're fixed in their ways, and they're not really allowing other people to persuade them, to give them a better alternative, or even to listen to other people's counsel or advice. And they're at a point where they're kind of thinking back at their actions, thinking back about the past, thinking if they can or if they should have done something differently. But the way that the person is situated with their arms crossed, it's sort of like, it's everybody else's problem. It's not really my problem. Why do I have to be the one to fix it? So I feel like you're dealing with some very, very stubborn people in your midst, which is understandable because, you know, you're a fixed sign as well. And I feel like fixed signs tend to attract each other. You're dealing with someone who's like, it's not really my problem. It's everybody else's problem. They should be the one to fix it, or, you know, passing the buck. Let's say, Uncle Bob has a drinking problem. His kids, his wife need to deal with it. Why do we need to get involved in it? Or like if it's a friend, you're like their boyfriend, their girlfriend needs to deal with it and needs to, step up. Well, I don't have the energy to expend to fix this problem. So I feel like everyone around you is kind of passing the buck. And I feel like you're taking up the obligation, you're taking up the responsibility to right the situation. So not that the responsibility falls on you, but you're dealing with people who are either dragging their feet, taking their sweet time, or passing the buck, kicking the can down the road. And you don't like to do that. You like to just proactively change a situation, make it better for everybody. So I feel like you're stepping up and trying to change a situation. I also feel for some of you, you might be changing residence. You might be scoping, looking at the market for a new house. You might also be selling your property and then moving into a new location. In your advice position, we have here the Five of Cups in the reverse. Whatever you're doing, honestly, Leos, you are on the right track, okay? This is a card about sadness and regrets. When it's in the reverse position, it's sort of like overcoming that. Owning up to the choices that you've made. You've made the best decision given the circumstances, given what you know, given your constraints, and given everybody that's involved. You've made the best decision that you know how. And so don't feel bad about whether or not I'm on the right path, whether or not I made the right choice, whether or not I, reacted prematurely or reacted too forcefully. You did the right thing given the circumstances, okay? And it's proven in the future position. We have here the Queen of Swords. This is an Aquarius, a Gemini, or Libra that you are dealing with, but I feel like this is more your energy where you are being very, very decisive, where you are just like cutting off your emotions and needing to act in order to, it's like to narrowly escape some type of a situation because you needed to act in a very decisive manner. If everybody around you is not really acting and you have this brilliant idea and this brilliant plan, then you took up the post, you took it upon yourselves and you acted. And I feel like as a result of it, yes, it sucks that we all had to be in this situation, but you acted in the best way that you know how. External to you, we have here the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, I definitely feel like somebody was not able to handle the truth. Somebody was not able to sweep things under the rug anymore. And I feel like they're trying to make some changes in their lives. They're removing themselves from you because I feel like they are very, very embarrassed. Okay, so you're dealing with somebody who knew that they did something bad or who knew that, they know it's their fault. And so they're trying to detach from this situation. They're trying to as well. If there are issues with drinking, alcoholism, and things like that, substance abuse, I feel like they're trying to clean up their life. They're trying to check themselves into some type of a rehab. They're trying to wean themselves away from the situation that has been created a lot of problems in the to begin with. I'm going to clarify this Eight of Cups here. Who is in the external environment and what are they doing? They're trying to get themselves into a place of more emotional, financial, and physical stability. Okay, this is a card about overcoming a lot of hardships. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do in their own lives. And if they have suddenly stopped communicating, I feel like there's a little bit of shame and guilt associated with them. And they know that you tried your best to help the situation. You took control of the situation. And I feel like they're detaching from you because they need to kind of like go off and find things on their own, okay? And kind of like reorient themselves. So they will be coming back. Don't worry. Hopes and fears. I have here the Two of Swords. And I feel like you guys are really, really doubting yourself. Did I make the right choice? Was I too harsh? Should I have just minded my own business or should I have gotten involved? And I feel like you did what you needed to do, okay? In the outcome position, what I have here is the Two of Pentacles. This is you trying to make a decision, weighing out the pros and cons. Do I reach out and offer my love? Or do I just, turn the other way and focus on other things? So I feel like you are battling amongst yourself, what you want to do versus what you feel is the logical thing to do. So this is sort of like blowing hot and cold with another person. You are a fire sign, yet you embody the water energy. So I feel like you might be with somebody who is very emotionally very, very up and down. One minute they can be really loving and affectionate. Then the next minute they could be like really independent. They could be very independent and they act like you don't exist. So I feel like this situation is making you very, very confused. However, if you are dealing with somebody like this, okay, it doesn't even have to be an air sign, but the energy that they are exhibiting is someone who's very frank, very direct. They say whatever's on their mind. So take everything they say and do at face value, okay? Listen to their words, because I feel like they're not going to be acting so much. They're just going to sit on the sidelines and tell you what they feel and what their intentions are and why they do the things that they do. So taking everything that they say at face value, I feel it's going to be a lot better for you, and it's going to create a lot less confusion for you. I'm also sensing you're weighing out the pros and cons in a financial situation. Should I purchase that new house? Should I buy the plane tickets in order to travel? Should I go on that cruise? Should I bring the kids along or the partner along? So there are some major, major decisions that you're weighing the pros and cons in. So I feel like for some of you, you're getting a really good deal on a condo or a house or, you know, an apartment even. And you're like, oh, the prices have never dropped this low. Should I go ahead with it? And I feel like somebody is telling you not to do it, and your intuition is telling you to go ahead with it. So you're battling what other people want, trying to please other people, but wanting to really listen to your own intuition, okay? What should they do in this situation? What should the Leo people do in this situation? You have to really listen to your intuition here. You make this choice independent of other people. You need to make this choice, okay? Because other people are giving you biased opinions based on their current predicament. And I feel like there are a lot of issues when it comes to fears and security-oriented things. You know, trying to save up money for a rainy day, not wanting to invest and not seizing the opportunity when it comes in. So you have to really just listen to yourself on this. And I feel overall, you didn't do anything wrong. You did whatever was necessary. You were courageous. You took up the mantle. And I feel like don't beat yourself up over things, okay? Water under the bridge. If it's family, they'll come back around. I feel like someone is trying to straighten out their lives and they're going to come back around, and they will even, you know, say thank you as a result of it.